Hello, I'm making this video for people who are either having art block or any kind of creativity block. And not just block, but feeling good doing things. Because I'm sure as you're scrolling, you have seen people doing things that in your life that you wish you could be doing. And I wanted to start this series on TikTok to kind of do show and tell and to explain the different parts of me that do different things and express different things. Because usually blocks or thinking that you can't have anything means that you haven't met those parts of yourself yet. And when you haven't met those parts of yourself, you have to kind of drag those parts of yourself to that next thing. So that's why it feels like a block or it takes forever. But when you get to know them, then you know which ones are having issues, why they have issues, and those kind of things. So I talk about this in sessions, and it's been coming up a lot lately in sessions. So I thought that this series would be cool. So that's what the series is about, and this is the first one. And so today I want to show my struggles I had with sketchbooks. So again, if you're not an artist or you're not doing things that have to do with like what people think are art things, we all are artists. So this is just, you can think of it when I talk about art, this is mine that I'm sharing so that you can see my embodiment to as a template so that you can see for yourself. So if you aren't into arts and creativity kind of things that are cliche creativity, because everything's creativity, just think of it as your dreams. So when I'm talking about my art stuff, that's your dreams. Because my art stuff is not just painting and drawing and clay, it's also about channeling the versions of me and building my map of my origins, which I will share that as well because I count that as my expression. So it's an expression series. So, and I thought I'd keep it casual where I just sit and I don't know how often I'm going to do this, but this is the one I want to start with today. So this is my little sketchbook, and I had problems with sketchbooks because I actually love watching other people do sketchbooks. I love seeing what they have, and it became something unattainable for me because even when I was in university and doing things in art and stuff like that, I didn't use the notebook. But when I was a kid, I wrote, and I have no problem with writing. But when it comes to drawing, I tended to I tend to be uptight. But I now know why. Before I was thinking it was a trauma because obviously the trauma is a part of it, but it's an actual version of myself. So I have met three, and I've gotten to know three of these. There's more obviously, but I'm going to talk about three today. One is a free version of me. And to me, free means that you are truly expressing your unique infinity. And without anyone bugging you, without any plans, and it's just literally symbols. And so that's what I am not strict. If I decide to not do that and I want to write or something in it, I do that. But I called it symbols. So I called it Symbols of Infinity, and I started in August. And that's how long, because I was like, when am I ready? Garden of Intimacy and Play. And so on days where I'm freaking out, I just do little swatches of all my art supplies that I have gotten over the years. So we open with this little swan. So swans have been coming up they always have, but for 2 years, very intensely in certain months. And so this one says dragon, Aphrodite, swans, reptiles, seals, and octopus. And sometimes these symbols come through, which I will talk about in this workbook I'm working on. I'm going to always go on tangents, so I'm going to try not to. And this is the little swan cutout I did. And I was very obsessed at this point with this material of cutting out papers and also drawing and cutting tissue paper to make texture. I also have a weird thing with backgrounds, so I wanted to try out a background even though it's like wild. So, and then I got more wild. I did this just without any planning because that was more planning. You draw it, then you cut it out. This one, no planning. This was intense. I even did a veil, a little tissue paper veil. This is a little reptile with a mirror. And yeah, so you can see. So this one is, I'm having a lot of anxiety this day. Perseus came with gifts when people are mean. It's a shield of reflection. It helps me not get drained by projections. So that was something that was incoming. Usually I explain those visitors on my Patreon. So if you're interested in that, you can have a look at that. And then this one was also more about writing, so you can see. And pineapples were coming up, and people kept talking about Terminator, which was so random, and I was like, what's going on? There's also other things. And then this was pretty wild. There was, I got a revisit from these Aztec gods, and a lot of them were jaguars, but this time they were ones that looked more human. Very vegetable-y humans. And they have these little plants in their head that move and stuff like that. So that was happening. Hathor was coming back. Hathor always comes back because that energy's in my energy. Hecate came back. My halo thing was in like this part that it was in pain. Sunflowers were everywhere. Sea slugs also. My nail polish is like a sea. I was doing the little sea slugs. Now this was August 8th. You can see I drew a little sea slug here. And see, he's holding a little bouquet of flowers. I'm obsessed with bouquets of flowers. Then some big information came on August 9th, and this version of me got introduced, and it got so intense that I didn't know what to do. I saw a lot of cakes. I was really into cakes and like drawing cakes and stuff, and I didn't draw them in here yet, which is weird, but I drew her. This is how she came to me. She little horn things and the little snake stuff, and I found out who she is later, which is, again, it's gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna also do something on Patreon, but I was doing one of the things for Patreon, and she came in right when I was channeling it, which is fun when that happens. And then this one, frogs were coming, and then I got obsessed with, I really want to make these collars, and one of the things I have phobias of from working in fashion was, and I've been healing, is something like this, like for example these necklaces. I made these necklaces last year because usually I would stop myself because I want to make little charms, but I would stop myself, and so I wanted to make something like a special stone necklace, and when I get to it, it's already been over a year and I have not made those charms, but I'm getting closer, and the charms are removable. So with these collars, I think they're great for winter. I mean, for any time, but for winter, because they can be a little bit more warm, and I might make them up to here, but I want to make movable little like thingies. And by the way, this one I made something out of beads that I'm working on, and I'll show in our next video. And yeah, so that's this one. And there was also vampires are always coming into it. There's some vampire things going on. Also lace, veil kind of things, and these beings that just have little like that. It started in July, these beings, because there's someone I know that I visited and they have this energy, so they've been coming since then. I don't even know what they are. And then this one is one where I drew it, and then before I would get freaked out, but I painted it later, and I think I wrote the date. Yeah, I wrote it in pencil. So I did this on August 14th, and then on the 21st I came back and I painted all of it. And this one has glitter. It's sparkly. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, I only have a little bit left, so I'm just gonna quickly say bows were a big thing, are still a big thing, and I'm just like obsessed. And then I found an artist that's also into bows, and I'm like, oh my god. So I did more bows. This is like me, and like it's very weird, and I got freaked out by it. And flies, I know this sounds funny, but I always have like, it's not like I'm stinky, but flies have been a thing, and I found out something new about that. Finally, I get to the cakes, and then I'm getting into garlands. and I'm working on this today. I did the background. I haven't been able to do it yet, but yeah.